BJP joining us. Karan Verma is a noted author on the show. Ratan Shardaji is also a noted author. Sanjay Jha, also an author. He did remember, was close to the Congress. So I will say he leans towards the Congress still. He hasn't had a change of heart. We also have Mohammad Adil Hassan, who represents the AIMIM on the show. And Saeed Aslam Pasha, political analyst. He's completing our panel. Sanjay, let's begin by asking you, do you believe this is kosher? Do you believe this is Rahul Gandhi's Mohabbat ki dukaan? Rioters can be given a free pass?
Deepthi, good evening. I heard Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar, the Deputy Chief Minister, and I think he's been very categorical in saying that they have withdrawn cases against many, I would say, people who indulged in violence or all kinds of anti-social activities, which includes, by the way, the violence in Hubballi that happened. And amongst them was this case. Now, in terms of the gravitas or definitely the implications of the withdrawal, I agree with you that these are issues that need to be debated. Having said that, I find it very rich that the BJP, which frankly speaking was castigated by the Supreme Court for running bulldozers against communities, the encounter Raj that has flourished in many BJP states, the lynching violence that has happened, and the number of BJP leaders who have made hate speeches and got away scot-free. This is an unfortunate reality of our times. I'm not trying to do whataboutery, Deepthi. I'm largely trying to tell you, though, the ecosystem has a lot to explain, not just to the people of India, but to itself. And as far as the Karnataka thing is concerned, I do believe the Congress government is aware of the implications of its announcements. I'm sure they have made investigations to find out how serious the cases are against how many. Will the individuals, accused in the FIRs, they be taken to its logical conclusion? That may be a separate subject. The government may have closed the case, saying that no further possibly prosecution or investigation is required. It doesn't mean that people are probably charged will get away scot-free. So I think these are gray areas as far as the legal aspects are concerned. But I do feel the BJP needs to also explain to the people of India about the number of issues where they have indulged in wanton violence, encouraged it by them. You have had cases recently as well where a very popular seer has been making a lot of horrific speeches.
Sanjay, I hate to interrupt, but see, right now the issue is of extreme appeasement. Extreme appeasement of any community, I do not think is desirable in the country anymore. And, this is clearly not a BJP versus a Congress issue, Sanjay, is it? Because the Congress for the longest time, and, I'll also get Shazia to respond to that question that you have raised. The Congress says we have a Mohabbat ki dukaan. So is that the dukaan open for rioters? And who's the state to decide someone is guilty or not, Sanjay? There is a trial underway in this case.
Well, here is the point. Here is the point. I don't think if the government withdraws a case in terms of the issues that were filed earlier at the police station, the FIRs, they don't overnight vanish. I think there is a legal process that plays out there as well. So I'm sure
Sanjay, it shows your intent, no? Whatever you say and do, the point is it's your intent. It's the government's intent. Shazia, how would you respond to what we've heard from the Congress so far? They say that the BJP, during the Feb of 2020 and 23, have dropped prosecution in about 385 cases. This includes cases of hate speech, cow vigilante, communal violence, and all those people have been let off. A lot of them are about pro-Hindu groups and also BJP MLAs. So, Shazia, can appeasement swing just one side?
So, what has D.K. Shivkumar done about it? What has Siddaramaiah done about it, if indeed this has happened? What is it going to be? Because that has happened and we don't know the details of that. It's just a statement that we get. But here is something that we know. What we know here is that Congress party has no respect for rule of law. It encourages and abets rioters. And rioters who have attacked and laid siege to a police station, if you may. I mean, it's not even anything else. And only because they're Muslims. Now, rule of law means respecting the Constitution. So what has happened to respect for the Constitution and rule of law? And what what India stands for in terms of prosecution, investigation, and taking back cases. And when you take back a case, the case will vanish, Mr. Sanjay Jha. What will happen to the case? The very fact that you're withdrawing the case which is state versus the rioters, then the case will vanish. So, and why do you want to stand with the rioters? Only because they're Muslims? I mean, there's a huge problem here, right? I understand you want to stand with an innocent man, and Supreme Court came to chide the government in charge, said, no, you can't play havoc with people's lives and you can't bulldoze your way into justice. Similarly, this is exactly what the courts are for. This is, if there was no investigation, if the matter did not go to courts, what is the Karnataka state government doing? Who is the Karnataka state government to withdraw the cases? But to appease, and appease what? Who do you want to appease? You want to appease criminals and rioters? I mean, you don't want to do anything normal for deserving poor Muslims, giving them houses or education. But you want to play, I mean, play to the lowest common denomination and encourage this kind of violence by taking back the cases. I think it's very disgusting. And more than that, I think it really gives a very wrong signal, you know. And, you know, what are you trying to say? That only because somebody is a Muslim or a Hindu, and that's how you will base your judgment, and the rule of law will change accordingly? Some little respect for the constitution, you know, would have helped in this matter.
Okay, I see Sanjay Jha, Syed Aslam Pasha, and also Muhammad Adil Hassan who want to come in. But you know,